165 Tomb Road. Okay, good evening all. Welcome to our Architectural Review Board meeting for February 7th, 2023. And just so that we could see who's present here tonight, who do we have here for enthusiasm? For Bella and Sullivan. Okay, we're going to take these out of order tonight. Okay, so if we could start with 11 Meadow Lane. This is an exterior renovation, including a roofed-over entry patio, roof line changes, skylights, windows and doors, siding, roofing, and trim. Proposed work approaches substantial renovation threshold. Future work may not be permissible without FEMA compliant elevation.
Oh, great. Good evening.
If you could give your name, please.
My name is Gabby Chilingarian, architect.
How are you?
Good. How are you, sir? Thank you.
You've been here before.
I've been on Zoom, so you guys threw me a little off.
Right, now you're in flesh.
Calling me first, now I don't know what to say. Well, Chairman, members of the board, thank you very much for hearing our application this evening. I was commissioned by Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan to do an architectural rendition and plans for their project in Westhampton Beach. As you can see from the board that I've presented, the top photo is the existing condition of the building. It's in tremendous damage due to the salt and the severity of the years and the age of the building. So what we're proposing to do is, this is the proposed rendition, the front elevation. You good? So we're gonna try to mimic, they have a pool house in the back, the quintessential Hamptons look. So that's the objective of what we're trying to do. So this is the ultimate rendition of what we're planning on proposing. We're gonna be removing all of the old rotted board and batten, and we're gonna be applying shingle-style system to the elevation facades. We're gonna try to keep a craftsmanship of trim detail work, garage doors, and we're also gonna apply cedar roof to the building and allow it to age through the process of the years to mimic their pool house elevation. We're not expanding the footprint of livable space, it's only the coverage. So, and it's an aesthetical project in our perspective.
Okay.
Okay, if we can go over the materials, and we could start from the roof down,
Sure. So,
what the material is and the colors, if you would.
yes, sir. So the materials that we're using are a natural cedar for the roof composition with respect to the siding as well. So we're just gonna leave it exposed, untreated, and let it weather over the process of the age of the building. All the white trim that you see is going to be a composite matte finish, so it's not it doesn't shine and forecast back. And the garage door and the primary door will be a traditional style depicting what the rendering is itself. It's gonna match what's here. Gutters and leaders will all be white to match the trim work that we're proposing. And all the windows will be an Anderson type 400 series.
Okay, and the chimney?
The chimneys, it has an existing brick chimney, so we're just gonna paint it like a darker, like gray component to kind of blend in through the aging of the roof over time.
Okay, and you're extending the chimney?
The existing chimney, no, actually, the rendering is a little closer in perspective, but we're not altering the chimney at all.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the way I think the rendering projected itself.
okay. All right, anything changing with the landscaping?
As far as the landscaping, all the boxes will remain. We're just gonna be keeping the foliage the way it is. We're not adding any substantial landscaping to it.
Okay, on the right side, you have some plantings over there, and some on the left, is that gonna be new?
These right here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we're in the process of dressing up the building, so we didn't know if we're possibly gonna put boxwoods for the duration, so it sustains the climate out here. We may add some rose petals or some bushes, yearly, for them to remove and affix, but the primary intent of landscaping will be the boxwood privet style look.
I have no problem.
Questions from the board?
Is the driveway being altered, or is that
Uh,
same
Yes,
from
ma'am,
top to bottom?
correct.
Okay.
Everything will stay consistent.
So you're just basically changing the facade of the house?
Yes, sir.
Inside?
No?
There being no further, is there any other question? Peg?
No, I'm good.
Okay, there being no further questions, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the motion.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank
All right, have a great night.
you as well.
You too, good luck.
It's me again. Sorry. Crazy.
Resign this or just?
You can sign this, I'll take this back. I'll give this back to you. You can take this. Okay, next we have the application for Bella 165 LLC, 165 Dune Road, additions and renovations throughout for a two-story, single-family dwelling, 5 bedrooms, 5 bath, 2 half baths with a pile, with a garage and entry level under, elevator, gas fireplace, roofed over side entry porch, front balcony, rear screened porch with a balcony above, and retain the rehabilitated rear deck and swimming pool for the ZBA approval on July 21st, 2022. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Rui Gomes. I'm here representing Paul Russo Architect, who unfortunately could not make it here tonight.
That's Ruby.
Rui, R-U-I.
And what's the last name?
Gomes, G-O-M-E-S.
R-U-D-I?
R-U-I.
R-U-I. G-O-M-E-S.
Correct.
The architect or?
Well, Paul is. I'm just here representing him.
Okay, if you could tell us about the application, please.
Sure. So, as we know, this is Bella 165 LLC. These are the before and after images. As you can see, there was a major overhaul done on the home. The house will have a couple additions to it in order to create what the shape is now versus the more 80s curved edges and whatnot on the facades. Now it'll be more box shaped. Regarding all of these small additions were approved by zoning previously. Regarding the materials, I have a small board. Windows and doors will be Anderson A-Series colored white. The siding will be gray, cedar. The roof will be an asphalt roof. The color will also be Georgetown gray. aluminum gutters and leaders will also be white. Any columns will be white. Garage doors will be white. And AZAC trim will also be white. I also have, if you'd like, this in like a PDF format. I have a bunch of copies if you guys want a hard copy for yourselves. Sure. So I just pass them around. So that's the full application with each materialist version copy. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Thanks,
sorry.
that's okay, we can share.
That's okay.
Sorry.
We can share and share alike. Yep. Oh, okay.
What is the material you're gonna use on top of the eyebrow windows?
On top of the eyebrow windows will be the same asphalt.
Where are the sconces?
So the sconces will be by the doors, and I believe they will also be maybe in between the garage doors. We haven't specifically put them there yet, but they will be by any door.
And there's no, landscaping changes, right?
So basically, it's mostly on the side of the lot. Any landscaping would be this tree, or there was a little planting here, but as you see now, there'll be just the garages that'll be there in front. So besides that, it's anything on the side will remain where it is.
And the pool equipment and all that stuff's.
That's all staying where it is.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
There's no gate to the entrance of the driveway there?
No,
No gate.
it's okay.
You have any questions?
Okay, like it looks nice.
What's that?
Peggy, do you have any questions?
Oh, I think I'm good.
Nope. This side?
We're good.
We're good? Okay, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the motion to
Do
approve.
we have a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Large set of plans.
Exactly.
Okay, next we have the application for Enthusiasm LLC, to Brook Road. This is for facade and storefront renovation, sign to be filed separately. Good evening.
Good evening, Nicholas Greer, architect for the applicants, and I hope everybody's enthusiastic. We made some changes since the last time we were here, with some suggestions from one of the board members and meeting with the owner. We talked about doing that wainscoting on the Brook Road side. I'm sorry, I always get that road mixed up. Along that very plain.
Oak Street.
Oak Street, thank you, I don't want to say Brook Street, I apologize. So we did a wainscoting at a borel, as you can see, it's on your drawings. Stayed consistent with the cap on top of the roof, on that side of the elevation also, with that nice little detail that we were looking to achieve. We actually, on this drawing, I added some details of the starburst and the, which you can pass around to this, a couple of them for everybody. Those are the changes that were suggested the last hearing. Those are the changes that we have made.
Okay,
So just a quick question, what does the back look like? As you're coming down at the back of the building?
Back is.
Is it gonna be the
Pretty much
same-
looks like
same?
that, yeah, we're not gonna,
Are you gonna put that,
no, because you don't
Just
see it,
gonna
'cause
be
there's a
the
high,
back.
there's a high fence on that side of the property, there's, there's a lot of trees.
no,
that
on the side, when
No,
you come down,
on
the
this
back
side
part.
of the property, right here, the
I
back here,
can't see,
there's, you can't see it.
What, you gonna pick it up?
I'm sorry.
I can't see
On
that,
the
thank you.
back side of the building, right here,
There you go.
there's a fence on the property line, and there's a lot of landscaping, so you really don't even see that elevation.
The last little house.
Only thing you're gonna see is you're gonna see that.
talking about the north side.
Yeah,
of the
north
building.
side, yeah,
North
north
side,
side,
yeah.
yeah. And on the east side is just gonna be plain, we're not gonna do that detail, because
Okay.
there's a whole courtyard over there, so, and it's all landscape.
But you'd repair all the stuff that's busted and, okay.
Pass those around. Yeah, I gave, there's 5 copies or 6 copies there, so.
You could split that up.
So basically, those details are just gonna be a relief made out of styrofoam before they get stuck on, so they'll be customized by the manufacturer for us. So I just detailed that up for you. And again, as per our last hearing, we'll go before zoning board of appeals to get approval for the height of that marquee, as you'll call it, or the signage, just anything over 8 inches.
While you're on that subject, what is the issue with that, and why wasn't it part of this? So what is it that you're looking to do for the marquee?
Well, the marquee is
And
gonna be a little
the-
bit high, it's gonna be a little bit thicker than what's allowed, we're only allowed 8 inches. You're not gonna be able to see that from here.
Here you go.
I know I won't be able to read it, but I won't be able to see Sunset, the theater, so we're gonna ask for 18 inches, so we need relief from CBA, so.
That currently is 8.
This right here is no, I'm making
You're showing
that
it 18.
Oh.
We're only allowed to go 8 without zoning board of
Oh,
appeal
that's
approval,
what it is.
that's
So
all, yeah.
that would be 8 for the size of the lettering.
That would be at least 8 for the size of the letter. We
Yeah.
wanna be able to read this.
Right.
Right.
But the marquee, which is,
This right here.
wait 1 second,
Go ahead.
which is jutting out
Right.
on the front.
Right.
Do we know how far that's jutting out and how high?
Actually, it's curved, so if you look at, whatever we gave you for a site plan, it's curved, so it's gonna be 18 inches high, it's gonna come out, it's gonna curve, probably the furthest portion from the building is gonna be 24 inches.
Okay.
That's
So
all.
it's 2 foot out at
I
at
Yeah, it's
the
about 2
peak.
feet out, yeah, but on a curve, so it's going from 0 to 2.
My question
On a
is,
curve.
how do we know that? How do we know?
Well, we won't know until I detail it out and go to zoning board of appeals, so we're not
No, but
asking.
is there a question about the size of the marquee?
Yeah.
How high it is and how far it juts out?
Mhm.
In addition to the size of the lettering?
In addition to the size of the letter, yes, yeah. Yeah, so that's why it specifically wasn't advertised on ARB, because you guys can't.
So we're not discussing
we
what the
can't
marquee
discuss
is
that,
looking
right.
right now until the zoning board
That is
approves
correct.
your variance.
That's right.
Right.
For just the size and its height.
But
Okay?
conceptually, you're talking 24 inches,
Yeah.
2 foot
Yeah,
in
and
the
it's,
center.
at its apex, it's gonna be 24 inches out, so it's going from 0 to 24. But it's gonna be 18 inches high, so we can see the lettering.
Would help.
Right. So that's gonna be a little,
So then you have to come back for the sign?
we'd have to come back to that side.
Yeah.
The sign and the marquee?
Yes.
We're not
Okay.
approving
No,
letters,
that's-
marquee,
no.
or sign.
What's that?
You don't look happy about that.
No, I don't really care. I mean, it is what it is. It's the code. I have to, no, I don't care. Coming back. It's just what it is. That's the way the
I
code
guess
is
what
written.
I'm questioning is, why can't he build a marquee? And the size of the lettering.
Well, because
gets
I guess
They're
we may
calling
be
it a
able to build a
sign.
mark, but Brad said that we couldn't. We had to come, zoning board of appeals.
I'm gonna let that go.
So, yeah, they have to let that go. It'd be nice to be able to do the marquee and then come back for the lettering, but that's not the way the code is written,
Okay,
okay?
so, anything else that you wanna,
Now,
Sure.
colors, colors we haven't, we gave you color samples. I have a boral sample of the material because we talked about hardy board, but we're gonna use boral instead, which is a little bit more durable, especially on that street side with dirt and grime and rain and snow and sleet, although we haven't had any
is
snow.
that indicated on the?
That's, yeah, that's on one of the details that we pulled up for the board.
I think the problem that I'm having with this is that we just can't, it's not that we're fighting the project, we think it's really great, we're just having trouble zeroing in on the colors, but what's been presented to us.
Blue and white?
And right, Chris, I mean, you could probably
Well,
explain a little bit better, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more about, it's a big building right in the middle of town. So everything seems to be okay, but it's hard to tell. I mean, the color samples we got are different than if you match the colors on the drawing.
As I told you, it's just very difficult to match,
But
the color exactly. When it gets
it-
printed, it's gonna come out in a different shade.
It is feel like it's something that this prominent in the village deserves more of a like a rendering where you could actually see depth.
That building has no depth.
Well, it does, the columns go back and forth and it,
Columns are on,
No, but if you come down the road,
Right.
again, we're supportive of it, trust me, but the problem we have, because we have to deal with the village that we live in, is that we can't get conceptually, I can't, I won't speak for my fellow board members,
You guys are,
but I can't tell by what is shown, by this, right, and we've seen other, what it actually, the colors are actually going to look like. At the end of the day, is it stucco, is it plastic, but, because realistically, to be honest with you, we live in the village, and people are gonna come and say, it's next to the village hall, and they just wanna know what these colors are. I think that's my problem, or my challenge, I guess,
So,
not to criticize you, but.
Do we wanna go out and paint, paint one of those columns the color that we want? And, I'll go buy a can of that paint and I'll give you color samples. If that's what you want me to do, that's what I'll do.
Well, again, we're just trying to understand, we're not fighting with you, we're trying to help
And
you.
this is what I gave you samples of, I
Yeah,
gave you
they're
good
right
sized
there.
samples, that, there's your
That's
samples.
the-
Hey, this is a colored rendering, I mean, the building is flat, it has no real depth to it.
but there is depth. I mean, if a project like this or the last one was just outside renovation, there's no questions. Because there is depth to this, as opposed to, if I look at this on a set of plan view, if I look at this elevation on regular plans, you can't see all that stuff. So you're asking us to approve something that it's hard to see. You're saying this is the blue color, but this is the
You want a
drawing.
3D render. You
Well,
want
can I just say a
3D render?
question, you're gonna paint it, is it gonna be painted?
No, but also too, maybe I think we're okay with generally what this is, with what you have here, it's just, as it progresses, maybe we need to see the colors, because it's just us here looking at this, there's a whole village that are gonna be interested what this is gonna look like. Well, obviously they're not, but they're gonna later on.
No, they don't come here, but trust me, they will be interested.
You advertise this, and it gets advertised, and you would think that people would show up if they're interested in this thing.
Well,
And I guarantee you, nobody will show up at ZBA, and we have to,
Well, just coming back, I think what we're asking you to help us out, and you
I know,
mentioned about maybe painting something and say, okay, this is what it actually would look like. That may help us out, all right? I mean,
I'll go get samples of that paint, and I'll hire somebody to do a rendering. If
No,
you had
it doesn't, no.
Chris, excuse me.
Yeah.
If you had asked me to do a rendering at the last meeting, I would have done a rendering, a 3D rendering, okay? So I'm gonna have to go hire somebody to go do a rendering. That's what I shall do. Okay?
me personally, if you would, no, let me finish for a minute,
Yeah.
please, I'm on your side.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, maybe if you had, just put some of the paint, and we could see what the colors actually look like that's going up on it, instead of samples, renderings, 3Ds. Because the issue is, I'm speaking for myself, I like the way the structure was set, I like the way it's designed. I think the problem we're having is just the last finishing touches that will stand out in the village. And we're not criticizing it, we just don't know.
No, I understand, it's not, I'm not taking it as criticism, I'm just taking it as progress, okay?
No, Andrew,
So I-
we wanna
but
get this
I
going
kinda-
for
I
you.
kinda took we were on a course, the last hearing, and now I'm taking a step back.
No, no, all we're asking, I'm,
I would've
what
had it
I'm,
done.
I will
I
not
had 3
speak for.
weeks to get a rendering.
Hold on, we're not, I'm asking is that, I will leave that to Chris, he's better at this than I am, but I'm saying if I could see truly what the paint color would be, that's all I'm asking for. And not to keep you going 8 years down the road and get this finished, I know.
The clock is ticking, we're trying to get this building.
I understand, we've lived the village a long time.
Yeah, but I don't wanna speak out, if we're just talking about colors, I mean, is there a way to let this project move forward and then we
Yeah.
can?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I'll
we want
leave
this to
to
move
Craig,
forward.
he's the chairman, what do you want?
Go ahead, Greg, take it away.
We've had a bit of discussion, almost entirely about the colors on the project. I'm in favor of the concept of what's being proposed here. I think the board is comfortable with the Art Deco style that you've approached. The board, I think, had some questions at the beginning where there was, I think, vinyl siding at one point, and then it went to hardy plank. I think we were in favor of the hardy plank. Now it's being changed. These, I think, were Art Deco colors. You could flip through this just for a moment, and then I'll continue.
Okay. I'm looking,
Okay.
all right.
And when this was proposed, some of the comments, some of the comments were that it was very bold, very vivid, and there was some concern about what kind of feedback we would get, not that anybody's here, but what kind of feedback we would get from the people in the village if we met them at the post office or whatever. Having said that, in summary, I guess what I'm getting at is, the board is in favor of this project going ahead. The board is in favor of the concept with the Art Deco style, with the sunbursts on it, and the other details. I'd like to have some way that we can approve the project so that it can go ahead. And still, since the colors are not gonna be something that's gonna be done from day one, how can we approach zeroing in on colors?
You tell me what you wanna do. Do you want to approve the project and then pending a final color once we're out in the field, once we get this thing going?
Yeah, that's
You
what
tell me
I'm-
what you want. I'm all
Yeah.
for that, but I was just hearing that I needed to do a rendering, so I can see 3D depth and before this thing gets approved, which I'm willing to do,
No,
but.
I wasn't saying that, I was saying that it's hard for us to see the full scale of what this is gonna be. So I would be very happy if we could do that, if we could move this forward and we could see the colors as it goes up.
Yeah, just mention, can we see the paint color, what it
One of-
looks like?
One of the
I'm
bo-
all
I mean,
for
that
it. I'm
happens
fine
every-
with that. I'm okay with that.
One of the board members mentioned that depending on this color paint,
Mhm.
it also depends what it is painted onto.
This is true too, and what
Which
it looks
would-
like outside, not in this light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it's gonna change in the light. We may say, oh my God, we may not like that color, but I was trying to pick a color that would at least resemble something that's close. Like I told you last time, white is not white anymore. There's a billion whites. And all you have to do is put a little tinge of, a little shade of gray in it or black, and it's still white, but it's not white, okay? So you can't say dove white, linen white, it doesn't exist anymore. You can't say red, because there's 1,000 reds. So we try to pick a color that's close. You may not like this in outside. I may not like it in the outside light. It may look different when the sun's out, when it's
So you
when it's
see-
raining out.
so you see
I
what-
understand that.
So you see what we're
Right,
faced with. So
right.
having said that, I'm trying to come up with a way that we can approve this application so that you can go ahead with the construction of it. I don't wanna hold you from putting 2 or 3 cents in.
No, I just like a more muted of 3 colors.
I like those 2 colors right there, but
Right.
again, those are little samples. That sample book looks like it's, I don't know how old it is, but so it could have faded, it could be different, I don't, I really don't know. So it's, if you like
Well-
those colors, I can go get those samples of
Yeah,
colors.
we just think this is a little bright for this humongous project, but
So if you
I'm
compare
okay with-
this to this,
I see
you
what
can
you're
see a
saying, yeah.
difference, and you can see what we're facing.
That's a little more going to the maroonish color, okay?
And maybe that's going more towards this palette that you have, this palette here, maybe.
I mean, very well, those colors look
Is that
perfect on it.
Is that closer than that is to that? So,
So, let me have your sample board there. Let me take a picture, not mine.
Well, Nick, I don't even think it's a matter of what,
I'm listening.
yeah, I think it's a matter of what's gonna look best on it, and we're gonna see that when,
Trust me, Chris, I want it to look what's best.
Yeah, I know we
what's
do.
best for the community, okay?
and it's gonna be very easy once it's up, it's up and we can see the color.
I always found if you're gonna paint it on something, let's see what it looks like when it's painted on.
Absolutely.
I mean,
So
like,
we do paint samples on everything.
you put a pan sample on a piece of whatever they think is plastic. What is the,
Let
what
me
are you
ask-
painting it on?
let me ask,
We're painting it right on top of that,
on the
actually,
start, wait a minute,
Yeah,
the hardy plank is gonna be hardy plank, correct?
correct.
Okay. The blue is gonna be on stucco
No, the blue is gonna be on our we're gonna reface those columns
with,
with a, an AZAC board and paint those.
Right.
That's gonna be painted, because otherwise we can't do the relief that we're looking to do. We're looking to do a little relief.
So you're gonna paint the
on
AZAC board, so
Right.
if you could take a little piece of the board,
those.
let's
Yeah,
see
no,
what
we
it
can do
looks
that,
like.
absolutely.
Right.
We can definitely
Right?
do that, right. So we can come, yeah, we can give you the samples, so.
Would that work, Chris? I mean, you know, you,
No, it'd be great.
We'll come back and
yeah.
But we
revisit
could-
colors down the road.
If that's what you wanna do, in the meantime, we can at least get going on some of this.
I think that would
Yes.
benefit everyone.
Yes.
I have no problem doing that.
It would benefit
Good.
the applicant, it would benefit the board,
Mhm.
it would benefit the residents and the people who come visit our village.
The,
So, having said that, can we get a motion, and you tell me if this is okay, that the board make a motion to approve this application for the concept and the structure, subject to, at a later date, which is convenient to the applicant, the architect, and the board, to review a color palette and to look at the color palette in the field.
Yeah, that's gonna be the
on
best
the,
part.
on the sample of what you're putting
Yes,
on the wall.
absolutely, right.
And the
Yeah,
actual
absolutely.
material.
On the actual material that we're using.
Yeah, so you guys can build everything.
I'll make that motion if
Yeah.
that's the motion. You get,
That's the motion.
That's what I would like.
make that motion.
Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Alright.
so what we'll do is this, we'll put together some samples, next few weeks. I'll contact you, Kerry, meet us out in the field and we'll take a look. This is what you can do in the sun. We do it, in, you know, when
The
when it's light
exact
out.
material, sample of material you're gonna put on it,
100%, I got you.
right? That would help us out.
We can do that. And this way we can all pick out the color and decide on, you know, it needs to be a little muted, a little less. bright.
Yeah, you guys can start building these columns, put them up, do them.
Yeah.
We all want this to be a
Yeah.
good,
Oh, yeah, we,
Yeah.
We have,
It's a big-
we have a lot more
it's a
work to
big
do before
deal.
stuff putting that,
Yeah.
trust me.
the inside must be a challenge.
They have no idea, just years and years of neglect and it's,
okay?
okay, I appreciate that, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good night.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We had one committee of one for 275 Oneck Lane. This was to construct an attached two-car garage. I just would like the record to show that this was approved as a committee of one on January 24th, 2023. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Sure,
I
I'll
gotta make
make
a
the motion.
What do we have in the way of drawings?
This is the
Chris.
275.
For a second,
I'll second it.
I think he's.
No, but what do we have on,
You have it.
On my shopping list?
I mean, do we have a, we don't have a set of drawings,
Yes.
We don't.
just-
you know?
Just have this.
Yeah, I know, but we don't have, there's no construction drawings, he knows.
Yeah, it's just, that's what drives me crazy.
For this thing, the construction is the level that they're putting along the road, fixing all the paneling and stuff.
No, but
So, but where,
look,
Yeah,
Kurt,
they adjourned it.
apartment house,
It's over, baby.
besides us?
This is the part of it that drives me just so unprepared for what this is. But that's it.
did we adjourn?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Tell me.
Thanks.
It's just, it's almost like, those other
No,
people coming
it
here.
wasn't. And I
Yeah,
came
everything.
from East
They're
Hampton
out
today
just
too,
outside.
so.
That's what I was trying to say to
My
him.
little guy goes to the woods.
Right.
Didn't go.
And I could've kept on going, but I don't want,
Oh,
you know.
I just have